Hello and welcome back to this month's 8-bit unboxing. We're going to unbox all of the things that you guys have sent me during the month of October 2017. And by the way, I do film these in chronological order throughout the month as I receive them in. So anyway, let's get started. The first package of October comes from Ethan Richardson from New Jersey. I like the box. Apparently there's geeky goodness inside. Well, let's open it up and see what geeky goodness it contains. It's a direct-to-TV Pac-Man game, and one I didn't already have. I'll have to add this to the list for part 2 of the TV Games episode that I'll eventually be making. Very cool. He also sent this DuckTales cart for the NES, which I did not have already. Thank you, Ethan. Here's a little package from CJ. Okay, it's a cartridge for the TI-99, one I didn't already have. Thank you, CJ. Here's a package with a lot of stamps. It's from Douglas Verneuil. Let's hope that's close to correct. Okay, let's see what treasure we have here. Oh yeah, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. It's a pilot. Notice I didn't call it a Palm Pilot. That's because this is the original that was produced by US Robotics before it was spun off under the different brand name. Let's open it up and have a look inside. Here we've got a manual. That looks like an old Packard Bell with all the branding removed. Here's the actual pilot. Check it out. There's not a scratch on this thing. Here's the cradle. The original, of course, used a serial cable. There was no USB back then. And the pilot fits in snug, just like that. Very nice. I'll definitely do a video on this eventually. Next up, I have a mystery box from the United Kingdom. There's no sender name. The custom paperwork says it has a floppy disk inside. Well, let's see what the mystery man has sent me. Oh yes, this is from Alan. It's the original setup discs for that compact portable 386 that I got last month. This should help getting that machine up and running. Thank you, Alan. And next we have a heavy box from Alexander Samelo. Why can't these packages ever have names like Frank Jones or Bob Johnson? You know, something easy for a guy with my limited education to pronounce. Anyway, yes, I remember this conversation. He had a load of old manuals, and I told him which ones I was in need of. So this one, for example, is for the C64, obviously, but this one has the wire binding on the spine, which I like. And this is a different revision of the manual, also with the spiral binding. And I really like the cover on this one. And actually, I already have a copy of this, but mine is falling apart due to 25 years of heavy use. This one's in a little better shape. And this is another one I didn't have, at least not with the spiral binding. All of these are various manuals to Commodore's different disk drives. And I already have a 128 system guide, but I have a friend who's in need of one. And last but not least, the Amiga 500 system guide, which I did not have at all. So these will be a very nice addition to my collection. Thank you, Alexander. Next up is a big and heavy box. This is from Boris Spitzer from California. Let's open it up. So what we have here is a mess. But no, seriously, this is a word processor. I've had 1980 style word processors on my want list for a while because I've been wanting to take one apart and see what's inside. These things are essentially purpose-built computers, so I've always wondered what hardware they used. This one, of course, is a Panasonic W1525. At first I thought the keyboard was not included because normally they go over the screen, but this one appears to be attached to the rear. I wanted to go ahead and power this up now because it may be a while before I have a chance to revisit this in a dedicated video. So I did power it on, but the screen was rather dim, and then I realized there was a brightness control here. Ah yes, that's much better. Unfortunately, my camera is picking up a lot of glare, and I don't have a polarizer lens for this one. I guess I need to get one. Anyway, the CRT is nice and crisp, and I'm impressed. This one can do spreadsheets. I thought these things were just word processors only. Anyway, a big thanks to Boris. Next box. Well, this one doesn't keep any secrets, does it? Let's hope there's an Odyssey 2 inside of the box. This is from Macy Miller. And apparently it contains a coat? Well, I've seen a lot of weird things used for packing material, but this is a new one for me. Well, Macy says I can do whatever I want to with the coat, so it's probably going to go to Goodwill. But let's take a look at the Odyssey 2. This is pretty new to me, as I've never really seen or played one of these. I can't believe the controllers are hardwired into the machine. There were also 6 games included, as well as a few Atari 2600 games. Anyway, thank you very much, Macy. I suspect you'll be seeing this again in a future episode. Alright, another big and heavy box. This one is from Rook Asenzo from Illinois. Okay, this is too big, so I'll have to put it on the floor. I believe this is another word processor. Things always seem to work out that way. I don't know why similar things tend to show up within the same month. Let's get this bubble wrap off so we can see which model this is. Ah, this is a brother model. And my cat is in here bugging me, so I thought maybe she'd like the giant box of packing peanuts. It should be fun, right? Like a ball pit for cats, right? Well, she doesn't seem very amused. I think she wants to jump out, but every time she tries to get to her footing, she sinks in deeper. Okay, she's going to jump. So, back to the word processor. This one opens up like most I remember. And it looks like a disk is included. Well, let's power it on. And it works too. The CRT looks nice. So, yeah, you'll probably be seeing this again too. Thank you, Rook. The next donation was from Russell Miller, who actually dropped it off in person. It's some kind of little weird computer called a Lambda PC. I'll have to investigate this further. Anyway, thank you, Russell. Next up is a box from Jason Putnam from Maryland. And I know what's in this, and it's something I've been looking forward to playing around with. So, this is a build-it-yourself kit for a hobbyist computer that he's designed. It runs on a 6502 processor, and it's made from all brand new off-the-shelf components. And yes, you can still buy 6502 processors. And here's the actual board. I'll be soldering all the components on here myself. Also, this board is supposed to be Apple I compatible, but in the future it may be able to run more than that. So stay tuned for a future video on this guy. Thank you, Jason. Here's another giant heavy box. This one also has no secrets. I hope there really is a Model 4 inside of there. This is from Thomas Powers from Georgia. I'll have to move this to the floor as well. Here's a note from Thomas. Wow, there's like a lot of stuff crammed in here. However, as I'm taking stuff out, I'm thinking this is not a TRS-80 Model 4 after all, so maybe this box holds secrets after all. So, it turns out all of this stuff was in that box. There was no Model 4, instead there was a Model 1, which is fine, as I didn't have one of those either. So, this is the original model that was released in 1977, and it even has the matching monitor. So I wanted to power this on and see if it works, and the interesting thing is I powered it on off camera first and it actually did boot up. But when I tried to power it on a second time, all it would do is flash the power light. I think the capacitors in the power supply have gone bad. The monitor's still working though. I imagine you'll be seeing this again. Thank you, Thomas. Next donation was from Benjamin Durham, who also delivered his in person. He gave me an old PowerBook Duo, along with 2 PowerBook G4 titanium models, and some weird-looking toy keyboard that I'll have to examine later. Thank you, Benjamin. Next is a little box from Elijah Powell from Missouri. Every day is Christmas if you're the 8-bit guy. Well, there's some truth to that, but every day is also a work day, so it's a double-edged sword. So, here's 2 game carts, packed in a bizarre method. So football for the Game Boy, didn't have that. And here's another NASCAR for the N64, didn't have that either. Thank you, Elijah. Up next is a package from Griswold? Alright, so Demon Attack for the Magnavox Odyssey 2. Again, weird since I just got an Odyssey 2. And Enchanter for the TI-99. Okay, thank you very much. This next one is from Andrew Paulo from Connecticut. Interesting, a Socrates. I remember these. Yeah, so this was like an edutainment computer from the late 1980s. I've never played with one before, so yeah, it came with quite a bit of stuff, including some software, which is useful if I'm going to review it, and also a voice synthesizer cartridge. Very nice. I imagine you'll be seeing this again too. Thank you, Andrew. Here's a little package from David Emil. And it's wrapped up like Fort Knox in duct tape. Ah, yes, I remember this. He was offering me some Apple stuff, and I said I could use another disk controller for my Apple IIe because I can't get the disk drive to work, and I'm not sure if it's the drive or the controller. So hopefully this will either fix the problem or at least confirm what the problem is. Oh, look, this is from 1978, so this is a pretty early model. Thank you, David. And the next box is also big. This is from Eric Hutchinson from Rhode Island. It's full of packing peanuts, so I'd better put it on the ground. Look at that. More Odyssey stuff. Are the planets aligned just right? Oh wait, I don't believe in astrology. Still, this is weird. However, this is the Odyssey 1, the very first. In fact, this is it, guys. This is the very first home video game console, which came out in 1972. So this even predates the Atari 2600. And I've never played one of these, so this will be quite an experience. These controllers are crazy, and my understanding is that there are actually not any ROMs on these cartridges. Rather, they're just crisscross wires to activate various games that are already built into the machine. Interesting. Well, expect to see this again, too. Thank you, Eric. Okay, we've got a box here from Peter Landell, and I can't remember what he was sending. Yes, I remember this discussion now. This is the notorious 16K memory expansion for the Timex Sinclair 1000. And I haven't seen one of these in 25 years or more. I have to take it out and look at it. Yes, I used to have one of these, and as I recall, it was very temperamental. If you bumped or touched it just right, it would cause the computer to lock up or reset. Anyway, you'll be seeing this again when I do an episode on the ZX81 series. So, thank you, Peter. Okay, we're getting close to the end. This is from Chris Roseberry. And what the heck is this? Okay. I think this is the card reader for the Game Boy Advance that will read those special cards. Let's see what's in here. Oh, yeah, that pretty much confirms that that's what that is. Okay, cool. As for this drive, at first I was wondering why he sent this, and then I realized it was a LightScribe drive, which is something I thought I might touch on at some point. Thank you, Chris. Next up is a moderate-sized box from Ken Hargy, or Hargy. Not sure how to pronounce that. Okay, I can't tell what the heck this is. Yes, this is what's known as the Darth Vader of Apple II computers. It's the Bell & Howell version. However, this one has a really ugly modification done to it. Look at that. Steve Jobs is rolling in his grave right now. He's going to come back to haunt whoever did this. Well, this will be an interesting restoration challenge. I've never dealt with a giant hole in the case before. Also, this is interesting. It appears to be an RF modulator. Now, look at that. Channel 33 TV interface unit. I've never seen a modulator that uses channel 33. Or maybe that's a brand name. Who knows? Anyway, this should be a fun project. Thank you, Ken. Alright, I want to thank everyone for some of the fantastic donations I got last month. And sometimes, you know, when I crack jokes about stuff, I'm not trying to be unappreciative, just in case anybody thinks that, because believe me, if I was not appreciative, I wouldn't have shown it in the video. I also wanted to mention that last month, October, I didn't produce as many videos as I normally did, and some people may have been wondering why. Part of the reason is because I was gone part of the month to Portland for the Retro Gaming Convention. The other reason is because I've also been working really hard trying to finish up Planet X2. So it's basically done now. This is a prototype, and this game is going to be released probably next month. I've just got a couple of bugs I'm still trying to track down. And I'm going to do a full video on the product when it's released. But I just want to let you know that I am still definitely working on it, and it is coming, and I'm looking forward to showing it to you because I'm pretty proud of it. It's a real-time strategy game for the Commodore 64. So anyway, stay tuned for more information on that, and I do have some other great content coming up for November, so stick around for that.